Such a beautiful time on this show. Yeah, we are back again on Amorgate Radio Communication with our beautiful, insightful, and informative program that we have lined up for you for this last quarter of 2025. And I want to welcome you specially to this wonderful program, and the name of the program that I will be anchoring henceforth is Leadership, Technology, and the Future. And this is where we unravel one of the most consequential questions of our time. How do humans and machines coexist in the workplace? What kind of leadership does this era really demand? These are very important questions, and just follow us as we continue to unravel it every Tuesday. I am Kola Johnson and I'm your host. I'm glad to bring this thrilling, adventurous conversation to you today. So, our topic today is leadership in the age of intelligent machines. Powerful topic, and I want you to follow me as I continue to unravel this particular topic, leadership in the age of intelligent machines. People should lead machines and machines should provide data. That is the proper way everything should be. That people should lead and machines should provide the data. We are in the age where we are data driven. Hence, this conversation is for everyone, where you are a business owner in Germany, a scientist in America, a patient in Gambia, or a professional in Nigeria. This conversation concerns us all, wherever you are. Listen with keen interest, and this is my invite to you. Like I said the other time, listen, you have a lot to learn, and I would love to get your feedback and comment at the comment section. And I would like to start with a quote, very powerful quote. Sundar Pichai of Google, or Alphabet as you may call it, he said that AI is probably the most important thing humanity has ever worked on. He said, I think of it as something more profound than electricity or fire. And this was not too long ago, just 2018 at the World Economic Forum. And here he said, leadership today means more than managing organizations. It means navigating complexity and confronting a rising tide of uncertainty. This new reality calls for leadership capable of navigating ambiguity, holding multiple truths at once, and acting decisively under pressure. These are times where we need more stronger leadership in organizations, even in families, in the global stage, in businesses, in every front, in government and all of those. So we need capable leadership that can take decisive decisions even under pressure. We are living in what some call the cognitive revolution. Very powerful phrase. A phrase where artificial intelligence is no longer science fiction. Back in the day, we say that, artificial intelligence will come, but today we have it already. It is our daily partner in our work and decision making, from hospitals that rely on AI to detect illnesses, to financial firms where algorithms scan global markets in milliseconds, to factories where robots not only build but learn. Our world is shifting rapidly, and you see, adaptability is the name of the game. That's even another conversation entirely. But with this progress comes anxiety. With machine, the anxiety of, will machine replace us? That's a huge anxiety. Will leaders lose their power to algorithms? Or will this be an era of augmented intelligence where humans and AI form a symbiotic relationship? Just follow me. These are wonderful thoughts we'll explore here. Today, we'll journey through these questions, and that's what I want to just talk about. Drawing from history, theory, real world case studies, and the lived experiences of leaders steering organizations into the future of AI, or AI future, AI-driven future. At the very core of this conversation, lies a radical shift the redefinition of work and leadership in the age of intelligent machines. Traditionally, leadership was about directing human teams, making decisions based on experiences, intuition, and sometimes incomplete data. But today, the workplace is being transformed by new collaborator, artificial intelligence. Some will call it, these things range from ChatGPT to Claude AI to many other AI. These are the common ones, But here's the essence: human AI collaboration. This is not just about machines taking over, but much more about machines and humans working together. And that is the symbiotic relationship that we are talking about. AI thrives on speed, pattern recognition, and vast data analysis. Human, by contrast, bring creativity. This is what you cannot outsource: creativity, empathy, ethical judgment, and vision. When combined, they form a hybrid or symbiotic intelligence that is greater than either of them working alone. If you leave AI to work alone, we'll just have so much data without someone to analyze it. If you leave human to just work alone, we'll grapple with time that will not allow us gather enough data within the time we have. And then we see the hybrid workplace, which is an emerging phenomenon globally. A workplace where algorithms don't just automate repetitive tasks, but actively shape decision making, guide team dynamics, and influence organizational culture. And you see that scholars such as Al-Nakiv, they describe this era as moving from the need of the machine to the will of the machine. Machines are no longer passive tools waiting for instructions. They now listen, adapt, and sometimes make very autonomous decisions. This challenges leaders to adapt not only their strategies, but also their mindset. So there has to be a mindset shift. There has not been any shift like this in history. There's not been any shift like this. And that is why any leader that wants to remain relevant in this day and age must accept the shift that AI is bringing to the fore. And I ask this question: why is this redefinition important? That's a very powerful question I want to explore right now. And the first thing is that number one, the reason is important is that global workforce, there's a disruption in the global workforce. There's a disruption in the global workforce. And a 2017 Oxford study by Frey and Osborne estimated that about 47% of US jobs are at the risk of automation. And the World Economic Forum predicts that by 2025, machines and algorithms could perform more than half of workplace tasks. This doesn't mean jobs vanish, but roles evolve. Leaders must therefore prepare teams for job transformation, not just job loss. I can categorically tell you right now that in many organizations, entry-level jobs are being taken over by AI. So you see that the requirement for entering a job is no longer as minimal as we can call it, because especially for the people in tech, which is the easiest way to see it, the people in tech, you begin to see that they need something more advanced to be a part of what tech is doing currently. If all you can do is to code, AI can code. Cursor.ai can do that for you. Even ChatGPT can do that for you. Any of this AI can code for you, give you the basic code. So you see that the requirement, and you can just imagine 47% of jobs will run risk of automation. Is it writing? In every sphere, you see these statistics to be very true. And that's the first one. The second one is decision-making augmentation. In finance, AI algorithms already outperform humans in spotting fraud and predicting risk. But data without context is dangerous. That's why leaders must step in to interpret AI's insight within human, social, and ethical frameworks. Very powerful, very important. And then the number 3 is leadership evolution. Traditionally, we have the top-down top to down leadership model. But you see, traditional top down leadership or command and control leadership is inadequate. It's not enough anymore. Leaders today must be tech aware, ethically grounded, and emotionally intelligent. They must be as comfortable reading an algorithm's output as they are reading a room of anxious employees. And this is a problem. Many leaders find themselves being able to read people's emotion, but are scared when it comes to data or what the algorithm provides. You must be efficient in reading both. So the job is not just to read humans, but also to be able to read the data the algorithm is providing for you. Very powerful insight. And number 4, you have cultural relevance. Cultural relevance. AI doesn't affect every region the same way. In Europe, for instance, GDPR and data privacy laws means leaders must prioritize transparency. In China, AI leadership is about speed and scale, with companies like Pingon, redefining insurance through AI-powered claims. You see, but in Africa, the story changes. I've just told you about Europe and China. But in Africa, the story changes. AI leadership is tied to inclusion, making sure digital banking and health services don't exclude rural or low literacy communities. So you see that even the playbook of AI in several regions are not the same. In Germany is different, in Europe is different, in Africa is different, in China is different, in Asia is different, in Dubai is different. So what we are trying to say is that even within the context of a community, leadership and AI symbiotic relationship must be contextualized. You must see it in the context of that society. And let's just briefly talk about the new definition of leadership, because if this is true, if what we have said so far is true, then we must come back to the issue of the new definition of leadership. So if you have to define it now, currently, leadership in the era of AI is the art of harmonizing machine efficiency with human values, ensuring that technology amplifies creativity, fairness, and innovation rather than diminishing them. It is no longer enough for a leader to say, I know people. They must also say, I understand data. It is no longer enough to inspire followers. Leaders must now inspire trust, both in humans and the technology shaping their future. I hope you are following the conversation. I hope you are learning something. I hope you are picking a lesson from this, because the future belongs to those who know how to interpret humans' emotion and those who know how to interpret data. It is not just depending on one. You must know how to use both. Now I'll take a break, and after this break we'll come back and we'll continue. And this is Amogate Radio Communication, as we do always. So just in a moment we'll be back and we'll continue this insightful conversation.
Amogate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. Amogate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@theamogate.org or call +234 810 9 999-6666 +234-807-957-4151 and +161-0504-6026 www.thearmorgate.org. Armorgate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.
Welcome back to Amorgate Radio Communication, where we talk about insightful thing and educative, informative programs. And this is Kola Johnson, and this program is Leadership, Technology, and the Future. And we are examining the relationship between leadership and AI in a world of algorithm. How should leaders see and how should leaders interpret data? There are some questions I have as we continue this. And the first question is, will AI replace human workers? And I agree, if you are one way or the other, around this conversation, this is a very important question that I always come across when I talk about these things. But I'll say that it's not entirely. AI is best at automating routine tasks, detecting patterns, and optimizing systems. Humans, on the other hand, we excel at creativity, empathy, and ethical reasoning. The future is not replacement, but redesign. Come on now. I love this point, because if we want to look at it, AI has come to stay. So we are not talking about replacement. We are talking about redesign. We are talking about rethinking. We are talking about relearning. The second question I would like to address is, what makes a great leader in the AI era? You see, leaders must combine digital fluency with emotional intelligence. They must understand enough of AI to deploy it wisely, yet never lose sight of the human spirit that drives innovation. Very powerful. And the third question is, what are the risks? Don't forget the first question, will AI replace human workers? Second question, what makes a great leader in the AI era? And the third one is, what are the risks? AI system can be biased, opaque, and over-relied upon. And this is where the human emotional intelligence comes to play. Leaders must enforce ethics, transparency, and accountability to prevent dehumanization. And this is very powerful. Don't just accept everything AI tells you. Whatever information you get from AI, make sure you scrutinize it. Look at it from the human perspective. Let it be more humanistic, and that will help your overall result. Let's look at some thematic pillars of leadership in the AI era. And the first one I want to talk about is digital literacy and data fluency. Leaders don't just need programmers. I have to say that. It's difficult to say, but that's the truth. But they must understand the language of algorithms, automation, and analytics. In fact, the World Economic Forum, they project that AI and automation will create 97 million new roles globally by 2025. But these roles will require leaders who can bridge the gap between technology and people. So you see, even though AI in a way is automating some jobs, that way is also creating other jobs. And that is very important to look at. Look at digital literacy, which means knowing what AI can do and what it cannot. For instance, AI is exceptional at processing large data sets and identifying correlations, but it struggles with context, nuance, and moral judgment. Data fluency, which means being able to interpret AI-generated insights, challenge assumptions, and make evidence-based decisions. A leader who blindly accepts an algorithm's output is not leading. They are surrendering. When AI gives you an information, make sure you put the human side to it. Don't just take it hook, line, and sinker. Make sure, because artificial intelligence, these algorithms can also make mistakes. We've seen them make their own mistakes also, or give false data. Have you done something on ChatGPT and you ask it again in another particular manner, and it tells you that, the data I first gave to you was incorrect? And that is why you must also always check every of your data. For example, in Singapore, government agencies have invested heavily in upskilling their public sector leaders with data literacy programs. Ministers and senior officials are trained not just to use AI tools, but to understand their limitations. This ensures policies are data informed but human led. Data informed, human led. Don't forget that word. Number 2, ethical stewardship. Ethical stewardship. The second pillar is about responsibility. It's a responsibility. AI must serve humanity, not exploit it. The risks are real. Biased recruitment algorithms, surveillance ecosystems that erode privacy, and opaque black box models that no one can explain. Leaders must therefore champion ethical stewardship, setting guardrails for fairness, transparency, and inclusivity. Without this, organization risks losing both trust and legitimacy. And according to MIT research, 85% of AI projects fail, not because the technology is flawed, but because organizations ignore governance, accountability, and trust. Ethics in AI is not abstract. It affects people's lives. It really, really does affect people's lives. Amazon's scrapped AI hiring tool, which penalized resumes containing the word women. I mean, that's a sobering reminder that unchecked AI can replicate historical biases. Yes, and you have to understand that AI will replicate your biases. It knows it. Don't forget, AI is good at giving data and recognizing patterns, so it can recognize your own biases, and give it to you in that manner. And again, another instance is that in the European Union, regulations like the AI Act now require companies to classify AI systems by risk level. Leaders are directly responsible for ensuring that high-risk systems, such as those in hiring, healthcare, or finance, meet transparency and accountability standards. Very powerful. The third one I would like to talk about is emotional intelligence and empathy. Machines may calculate. I mean, that's true. Don't forget again, they are good at giving data. But only humans can truly connect. In a workplace increasingly augmented by algorithms, empathy becomes the glue that holds organizations together. Emotional intelligence helps leaders build trust, reduce fear, and manage change. And there's this thing in Deloitte survey which revealed that 70% of employees fear AI will replace them. It is the leader's role to calm this anxiety, and we must show that AI is a tool for empowerment, not replacement. Again, I'll refer to what I said the other time. Symbiotic relationship, not replacement. It's not replacement, but redesign, rethinking, and retooling. Empathy also guides difficult decisions, such as reskilling workers whose jobs are being automated, or explaining how data-driven changes will affect teams. And there's an example I will give. At IBM, when Watson AI predicted which employees were at risk of leaving, managers didn't simply act on the data, and this is very good. Instead, they were trained to approach employees with empathy, offering support, career development, and open dialogue. The result was not just retention, but stronger morale. So when AI gives you a data, when it gives you a pattern, yours is not just to follow that pattern, but to ethically look at that pattern. And those who follow this actually get better results, and better result and better organization. The fourth one I want to talk about is agility and continuous learning. Leadership in the era of AI requires agility, the ability to pivot quickly, unlearn outdated practices, and embrace continuous learning. Technology does not evolve in decades anymore; it evolves in months. So in times past, you see that You talk about technology evolving in years, but now in months, technology have evolved. See what it takes to come up with new technologies, electrical technologies, as we call them. See what it takes in just months. There is always something evolving. McKinsey estimates that 50% of employees will need reskilling by 2030 due to AI and automation. Leaders themselves are not exempt. They must model a culture of curiosity, adaptability, and experimentation. Continuous learning also means leaders should surround themselves with multidisciplinary teams, combining technologies, ethnics, creativity, and strategies to navigate complexity. Very important. And we have this example in India. Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, launched its AI for Leaders initiative. Senior managers undergo training not only in AI literacy but in agile thinking, preparing them to lead diverse hybrid teams in fast-changing digital environment. Is very important. And I believe that these 4 pillars, digital literacy, ethical stewardship, emotional intelligence, and agility, are not optional extras. They are the foundational stones of leadership in an AI powered age. I'll say it again. These 4 pillars, digital literacy, ethical stewardship, emotional intelligence, and agility, they are no longer optionals. They are not things that you think as options, but they are the foundational stones in a world that is driven by AI. Powered by AI, and you want to be relevant in this age. Leaders who neglect them risk obsolescence. Those who embrace them will not only guide their organization successfully, but also help shape a future where technology serves humans better. Very powerful. So let's talk about some real life cases. I just want to mention some real life cases that will help us understand better. I'll start with Unilever UK, or as it were global. Unilever pioneered AI recruitment by using platforms like HireVue and Pmetrics. As it is, AI helped screen thousands of applicants quickly and fairly, but leadership still required human review to ensure empathy and inclusivity. The leadership lesson we must take out of this is AI can accelerate fairness, but trust is built only when humans remain involved. So, this is my view about this thing. AI gives that automation, but humans gives the emotion, the emotional intelligence. So there won't come a time, I believe, where AI will develop such emotional intelligence to take over from humans. I want to talk about IBM. That's in USA. IBM's Watson AI provides managers with predictive insights on employee engagement and retention. And yet, IBM emphasized training leaders to combine this with empathy. Here, AI provides foresight, but leadership provides judgment. And that's one aspect of humans that we must also consider. And I talked about Tata Consulting, I talked about Pingan Insurance. I will just briefly mention Kenya's banking sector, which is in Africa. Banks in Kenya use AI chatbots and fraud detection systems. Here, leadership faces a unique challenge, balancing efficiency with digital inclusion, ensuring rural customers and those with limited digital literacy are not left behind. Leadership in Africa emphasizes accessibility and equity in AI adoption. Very, very important. So in all of this, something is clear. There has to be a symbiotic relationship between leaders and AI or algorithms. AI will provide the data and patterns, but humans comes with the intelligence, the emotional intelligence required to interpret such data. And even when it comes to recruitment, there has to be a human face to it. Even though AI will give the fast data to analyze, but human face must be acknowledged in it. And here's the conclusion of the matter as I bring this conversation to an end. What do these examples teach us? Whether it's Siemens factory in Germany, Unilever Global HR, Pingant Rapid Claims in China, or Kenya's banking innovation in Africa, the lesson is consistent. AI transforms tasks, but leadership transforms people. The global reality is that AI adoption reflects cultural priorities. In the West, the focus is ethics and fairness. In Asia, it's speed, scale, and precision. In Africa, it's inclusion and access. So it's never the same. But everywhere, leadership remains the binding force. The strongest leaders are those who can harmonize machine efficiency with human dignity. The truth is simple. AI may lead data, but humans must lead in meaning. I'll take that again. That's the simple truth. AI may lead in data, but humans must lead in meaning. I hope you've been enjoying this program. I hope it's been an informative and educative one to you. I hope you've learned something. And this is Amogate Radio Communication. And I come to you every Tuesday to bring you conversations around AI leadership and the future. Technology leadership and the future. I come to you with very powerful data that will drive the conversation. And here is where we'll bring it off tonight. Today. I'll see you again next week as we continue this powerful conversation. I'll bring another topic and we'll look into it and we'll dissect it and we'll learn from it. Hope it's been a wonderful experience. See you again next week. My name is Kola Johnson and this is Amogate Radio Communication.